Hey everybody, welcome back. Our series on power development here at SSP. My name is Steve, one of the coaches here, and we were talking about power development and plyometrics primarily. We defined plyos on what they were. We talked about plyos to help us run straight ahead faster with more power. And then last time we talked about plyos to help that lateral shuffle. Balance, stability, coordination, power, all that stuff needed in the shuffle, and plyos can directly help that. So we've covered sagittal plane, we've covered frontal plane stuff, and now let's talk about rotational. Just remember, when we talk about rotational stuff, a lot is included. So we're talking about, from the base position, either crossing over to turn and run, or any sort of cutting angle, where I might have to go to a 45-degree cut, a 90-degree cut, 135, 180, or the other direction. We covered all this in a previous series on explosive agility, so check that out if you have any questions about that. But we're going to talk about how plyos can help all these different cuts that we're talking about. And remember, with plyos, a lot of it is that balance, that body awareness, that quick production of force, and that stabilization, or eccentrically loading and decelerating that force, right? The stress shortening cycle, we talked about it. We load energy, we utilize energy, we're going to keep that process up throughout the duration of a sport-like movement or throughout a game or whatever it takes, okay? So I'm going to bring an Angel over here. We're going to talk about rotational stuff right now. We're going to put him right here on the cone. And we're going to talk about different cutting angles, okay? So we're talking about a 45-degree cut, a 90-degree cut, a 135-degree cut, and a 180. Just in, like I said, reference, that cut means the angles that I'm coming out of this base position. Understand, in that sport-like environment, those angles could be anything in between the ones we've already talked about. We're going to cover these 4 angles because they cover a big range of motion that he may have to go in sport, okay? So let's talk about balance. Balance, we're one leg to the other. So a lot of stabilization, force production, deceleration is required in that one leg, okay? So he's going to jump from his right leg to his left leg. We're going to do a 45-degree bound. So he'll drop down, he's going to get this arm up because he'll use this arm when he makes that cut. And go! He pushes and stabilizes, right? Work on stabilization. We'll do one more, jumping back towards me, and go! And then relax it, Angel. Perfect, walk back to the cone for me. That's going to be a 45-degree cut. Let's talk about doing quick and sticks, remember, 2 in a row. So having to work on the fly, move on the run, having to dynamically stabilize after doing a rep and then produce force into the next rep quickly. So we'll start on his right leg. He'll do 2 in a row. We'll go right, left, right for us. Ready, drop it down, and go. He pushes, and stabilizes. Good, go ahead and relax, walk it back for me. So that's working on 2 in a row. And like we talked about, he can do continuous, which is more than 2 in a row, right? Same idea, 2 to 3 sets. When he's doing 1 at a time, we're talking about 3 to 6 reps. When he's doing quick and sticks, it's 2 to 3 quick and sticks per leg to balance the body out. For continuous, we've talked about it, it's about 6 to 8 reps, okay? So now let's talk about a 90-degree cut. He went 45, and now he'll do 90. So out of his base, he'll go straight to the side, okay? I'll have him start here. He'll actually jump towards me. We're going to do 1 at a time to start with. So he'll drop down, he needs to push the ground away and land facing me on the right leg. So right hand up to me real quick, Angel, switch the hands. There we go, perfect. And go! And stabilize. He's going to work on stabilizing, right? It's not easy to do. He's going to do 1 more going back towards you guys. And go! And he stabilizes right there. Good, relax it. Head back to the white line for me. That's 1 at a time, right? We've covered all this. We'll do 2 in a row now. A little more difficult because the angle has intensified from that 45 degrees. He's got to stabilize and then go towards you guys in 1 motion. And go! He pushes towards me, drives out, stabilizes. Beautiful, go ahead and relax for me. That's a quick and stick. He can do continuous, which would be multiple in a row. Let's send him way down there, right? Same idea with reps and sets. Last one we'll talk about is going to be a 135-degree bound. Now, keep this in mind. You're on one leg going to the other. So as you open that angle up, it's going to be a little bit more torque on the knee, a little bit harder to stabilize, a little bit harder to open up the hip. So just kind of keep that in mind that if we're going to do progressions, we're going to start with some of these shallower angles and progress to the opening up the hips even more. Okay, so he'll do a 135-degree bound. He'll do 1 at a time. He'll be here. He's going to jump back that way for you. Okay, so left hand up. And go. Open up the hips and stabilize. Good. So pretty good angle. He'll do 1 more going back towards us. Ready, go. And push and stabilize. Good, relax. Not easy to do. His quick and stick would be 2 in a row. We're not going to do that, but you just got to get the hint of that. It'd be 2 in a row, or we can do it continuous, right? Remember, he's working on producing force, stabilizing, then producing force again over and over and over. That's what we progress to in doing continuous. And lastly, he can do that 180 degrees, which would be going straight back behind him. The toughest of all the cuts to do would be that one, so the toughest bound to do of all those would be that as well. Okay, so from one leg to the other, straight back behind him. You guys get the idea. So let's talk about crossing over now too, right? We're here, we're thinking about running a 5-10-5 or stealing in baseball, whatever it may be. We need to go ahead and turn and run that way. So now we're pushing off that inside leg. So we're going to do a rotational broad jump to help him push off, rotate, stick and stabilize. So he'll walk over to the white line for me. We're going to give him a nice good shift, right? Because he knows which way he's going to go for now. So we'll have him do it out of a shift. He's going to push. A lot of the pushing will come from this right leg. We'll push off a bolt towards me, stick and stabilize. And go! And stabilize it. Okay, so there's going to do one more towards you guys. This time he's going to land in the opposite shift. So he's going to jump left, but he's going to land shifted right, ready for his next movement. And go! And right shift and lands. Good, beautiful. Relax, walk back to the white line for me. The reason why I have him land the opposite shift is he's ready to do a quick and stick, right? This is just working on him going in one direction, dropping and turning his hips, embracing for that next movement. This would be good for a 5-10-5, because on a 5-10-5, we're running one direction out of a crossover. We're dropping, turning our hips, getting ready for that crossover coming back. So that's what he's kind of working on with this. So now he'll do 2 in a row. He'll drop down, he'll shift towards me, he'll jump, land the other shift, and then jump towards you guys. And go! So he shifted that way, he pushes and gets out. Good. Awesome. Relax that. Thank you, Angel. So that's going to help him get that 2 in a row, work on that dropping, turning the hips, and changing direction, pushing off that inside leg. He obviously can do it continuous if you want more repetition at that dropping, turning, right? So same idea with reps and sets on this, you know, like with everything. 2 to 3 sets. With 1 at a time, we're talking about 3 to 6 reps. With that quick and stick, it's 2 to 3 quick and sticks, and about 6 to 8 continuous if you're going to go that route with it, okay? Thanks, everybody. Tune in next time. We got more for you. See you.